Discover the exciting story of one of Jesus' most powerful miracles. Hi guys! Today we will delve into the moving biblical passage that tells of Jesus' miracle in healing a woman who had been suffering from an issue of blood for 12 years. A story of faith, perseverance, and divine power that impacted the lives of many. Stay tuned so you don't miss any details. The story of the woman with the issue of blood begins 12 years ago, when she was affected by a debilitating condition that made her impure in the society of the time. Desperate, the woman sought help from several doctors, spending all her resources on fruitless treatments. The flow of blood not only compromised her health, but also isolated her from social life, as the law at the time stipulated that people in this condition were considered impure and excluded from the community. Thus, the woman carried not only the physical weight of the illness, but also the emotional and spiritual burden of living on the margins of society, with no prospect of a cure. This context of suffering and marginalization accentuates the greatness of the miracle that is to come, revealing the magnitude of the transformation that Jesus will bring about in your life. Upon hearing about Jesus and the miracles he performed, the woman decides to approach him in the crowd. She advances slowly, sensing that her chance of healing is within reach. Each step is filled with hope and faith as she recalls the long, painful years of suffering. The murmurs around her try to discourage her, but her determination drives her closer to Jesus. Her eyes fixed on the Master, her racing heart beating in sync with the certainty that if she only touches the hem of Jesus' cloak, she will be healed. The crowd doesn't seem to realize the intensity of this moment for them, but every movement, every second is one more step towards hope. Then, in an impulse of faith and courage, the woman extends her trembling hand towards Jesus' clothing in a gesture of unshakable surrender and trust. Upon touching the hem of Jesus' cloak, the woman felt an indescribable sensation course through her entire body. A mixture of comforting warmth and profound peace invaded her soul, and instantly the flow of blood that had afflicted her for so many years ceased. A new, previously unknown energy took hold of her, filling every part of her being. The immediate relief from physical pain was accompanied by profound inner healing, as if years of suffering and loneliness melted away in an instant. Tears of anguish gave way to tears of gratitude and joy. That simple interaction of faith and touch with the Master not only restored her health, but also renewed her faith, her hope, and her connection with the divine. The woman was truly transformed by the presence and power of Jesus in her life. When Jesus felt the touch of faith from the woman who sought his cure, he stopped in the middle of the crowd, even without seeing who physically touched him. He noticed the transfer of power that occurred at that moment.
Who touched me?
His divine perception went far beyond physical contact, reaching the spiritual dimension of that connection. When asking who touched him, Jesus does not do so out of ignorance, but so that the woman could publicly witness her healing, deepening her faith and relationship with him. This moment of pause reveals Jesus' divine sensitivity in recognizing and valuing genuine faith and sincere desire to look for him. Even in the midst of a busy crowd, Jesus' attention turns to that woman's touching faith, highlighting her from anonymity and bringing light to her story of healing and restoration. Faced with this extraordinary gesture of healing and recognition of Jesus, the woman kneels, trembling and emotional, witnessing before everyone the transformation that had just happened in her life. His words of gratitude and faith echo throughout the place, touching the hearts of those present and strengthening faith in the one who had just performed an indisputable miracle. Jesus, with all his love and compassion, reassures the woman, saying that her faith has saved her and that now she can live in peace and fullness, free from her past affliction. A moment of deep communion between the divine and the human, in which faith, healing, and revelation intertwine to manifest the manifestation of God's power in that woman's life. At this crucial moment, the woman finds herself at a crossroads between the past of suffering and the new reality of healing and restoration. The physical healing impacted not only his body, but his mind and spirit, bringing intense and conflicting emotions to the surface. Unbelief gives way to gratitude, loneliness to communion with Jesus and those around her. The once low and embarrassed look now rises with confidence and joy. Watching the radiant smile on the woman's face as her tears mix with relief and happiness is to witness the genuine and profound transformation that only the touch of Jesus can bring about. She realizes that it is not just her body that has been healed, but her soul has been restored. Her emotional wounds have been healed. The woman who once hid in the shadows of the shore now stands out in the light of divine blessing, ready to live a new life filled with hope, purpose, and love. This is the moment when healing becomes a living testimony of the power and love of Jesus, echoing not only in that woman, but in all who witness and are touched by this miraculous demonstration of grace and redemption. This miracle of the healing of the woman with the issue of blood is a living testimony to the unconditional love of Jesus and its ability to restore not only physical health, but also emotional and spiritual wounds. By healing this woman, Jesus not only alleviated her physical suffering of 12 long years, but also broke the chains of social exclusion and shame that kept her isolated and marginalized. In an act of compassion and mercy, he brought her back into the community, restoring her dignity and dignity. Furthermore, the miracle of the woman's healing with the issue of blood not only impacted her life, but also testified to everyone present and subsequent readers about the transformative nature of Jesus' love. This miracle teaches us about the importance of unshakable faith, persistence in seeking the presence of Jesus, and humility in recognizing his grace and mercy in our lives. It is a vivid testimony of how faith can overcome any obstacle, no matter how long and intense the suffering. The woman faced not only the physical pain of her illness, but also the emotional and spiritual weight of exclusion and marginalization. However, her faith drove her to seek healing, to believe that a simple touch of Jesus could change her life. His persistence in the crowd, his determination to face the disapproving looks, and his act of faith in touching Jesus' garment remind us that even in the darkest moments, the light of faith can guide us to healing and restoration. Furthermore, the humble attitude of the woman who kneels before Jesus after receiving her healing reveals the importance of recognizing the source of all healing and grace in our lives. When witnessing the miracle, we are led to reflect on our own faith and willingness to seek the presence of Jesus, trusting that he is capable of transforming our sufferings into blessings, our weaknesses into strength. Jesus knew she needed help, and he could have gone to her. But knowing the faith that was in that woman's heart, he let her set an example for those people, that for those who believe, everything is possible. And he made a point of saying that what healed her was not the cloak or touching her clothes, but rather that she was healed due to her living faith in God. And you, dear viewer, in this moment of reflection on the story of the woman with the issue of blood, allow yourself to delve into your own journey of faith. Just as this woman found healing, renewal, and restoration by touching the cloak of Jesus, I invite you to seek the transforming presence of the Savior in your life. Reflect on which areas of your life need Jesus' restorative touch. It can be a physical illness, an emotional anguish, a spiritual emptiness. Remember that no matter how challenging your circumstances, Jesus is ready to answer the cry of your heart with love, compassion, and divine power. May the grace of Jesus permeate every aspect of your life, bringing healing, renewal, and hope. Subscribe to the channel for more inspiring and transformative content. Leave in the comments how this story impacted your life. I hope you enjoyed revisiting this incredible miracle of Jesus. Don't forget to share with your friends and family to spread the message of hope and faith. A big hug, and see you in the next video.